Hey guys, it's me, Heidi Powell, and today I'm going to show you my everyday makeup routine where I go from this to this. All right, so first things first, guys, this is not my face au naturel, almost, but I found that if I put a light layer of spray tan on my face, it covers up a lot of my melasma that I struggle with. When you're in your 30s, 40s, you tend to get it a lot more. I know, ladies, especially when we're active. So this is a light layer of spray tan, nothing else on. And okay, here we go. Oh, little side note, I never ever have a makeup artist on any of my shoots, any of my shows, because over time, guys, I've just figured out how to do it myself. So practice makes perfect. I'm gonna show you some of my tips today, techniques. If you have questions, comment below. And also, if you have any suggestions for me, because I'm by no means a makeup artist, so I could definitely use your help. Here we go. So this is MAC's Painterly Paint Pot. I actually use this underneath my eyeshadow on my eyes just to conceal it. It holds the makeup on really well. I love this stuff. All right, so you'll notice that I covered from the inner rim of my eye all the way out to the outside. I did not go under. I'm gonna go ahead and conceal that with something different a little bit later on. Okay, on to the next, eyeshadow time. This eyeshadow is Cork. This is gonna be my base that I'll go ahead and put in the rim, just along that line, right up here. You'll see how I apply it. So again, on this, I'm going from the inside rim all the way to the out, and I kind of use it to bring my eyeline up a little bit too. I'm covering my entire eyelid, focusing on the crease. Oh, by the way, the brush, this is the MAC 224S that I use for the creases. This is my blending brush for my eyelids. All right, next up, I'm gonna switch brushes to the 242S. This has a slightly different tip. This is gonna help pack on the next powder that I use for my eyelids. This is my favorite, All That Glitters. So this is the stuff that gives my eyes a little bit of pop. I make sure I get a nice thick layer on my brush, and then I go from the inside corner just beyond halfway on my eyelid, because I'm gonna go ahead and color the corners a little bit darker to make my eyes really pop. All right, next, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this same brush. This is where I'm really gonna define the corners of my eyes. I am not a makeup professional, you guys, so the way that I do this is probably not how most makeup professionals would tell you to, but it works. This is MAC Corduroy, and it's a little bit darker than that Cork that we used earlier. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on the tip, and then I create a little corner to my eye. Now this is a step where you really get to create the shape of your eye. So if you want your eyes to be brought down a little, you can kind of angle the shadow down. If you want them to be brought up, which I do, I angle it up just a tad. Then I'm gonna go back with this brush right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend. Now because this is a daytime look, I'm not gonna go too dark, but at night, this is one of my very favorite colors to add in the corner. This is Sketch. Okay, now that the base of my eyes are done, I'm gonna go ahead and cover up all of this on my face, even out the skin tone, and start working on the rest. This is NW25 in the Studio Fix. I went a little bit darker because I do have a spray tan, but an NW20 is better for a lighter skin tone. NC if you have more yellowish to your skin. So go to a MAC counter to find or any counter to find the foundation that's right for you. Now, beware when you're doing foundation, make sure you are blending your hairline up here, because it's very noticeable if you don't blend the hairline. And also, you're gonna wanna blend around the ears and down into the neck and at the nose. Those are the areas that are very noticeable if you don't do this right. Okay, now that I have the face spackled on, the face painted on, I'm gonna go back with a little bit of concealer and do under my eyes and in any areas where I experience any kind of redness or anything like that. Now, with the foundation, I actually end up using the pump top, which is a little bit extra, but it helps me really gauge how much I'm putting on my beauty blender. I use about 3.5 to 4 pumps depending on what kind of coverage I need for the day. Now with concealer, this is an NW25. I use NW25 underneath my eyes and in any problem areas, and then I'm gonna brighten it up with something a little bit lighter in just a bit. And with this, I do like a 1/4 of a pump, just so I can be very cautious of how much I'm putting on. Then to brighten up my face, I go back through with some NC25. Now, I don't always do this step every day. I'll for sure do it when I'm on camera or if I know I need my face to just glow a little bit more. Now, I do about 1 pump total of this, and I'm gonna put this anywhere where I feel like my face needs some brightening. So my cheekbones, the top of my nose, maybe my forehead, and then my jawbone right here. So any area I want to pop. Now that my face is painted on, my skin tone's even, and my eyeshadow is done, I'm gonna go ahead and set it all in with my powders. So the first powder I'm going to use is actually a bronzer. So a lot of people do a bronzer after. I do the bronzer first because I feel like it helps the glow come from within, from underneath, instead of just something orange on top of. So I have 2 different bronzers I use, both MAC. I will either use Give Me Some Sun or Medium Deep. So if my body is super tan, I'm gonna go with the darker one, Give Me Some Sun. Today, I think I'm gonna go with Medium Deep. So switching up the brush for this, I'm using MAC 182S. It's thick top, helps get a lot of powder in there and helps me move it. It's almost like a blend between a blush brush and a beauty blender, which I really like. So you'll notice I'm gonna focus the dark powders on the areas that I want to kind of contour in. So it's gonna be underneath my cheekbones, it's gonna be the sides of my forehead, and then underneath my jawline right there. And then sometimes I go the sides of my nose to give my nose a little more shape. Okay, then I'm gonna go back with my lighter powder. So the lighter powder that I use is MAC color Medium. This powder is gonna go on those bright areas, the cheekbones, the jawbone, middle of the forehead, and the tip of my nose. Changing the brush up again to the 150S for the blush. So for blushes, I use a couple different blushes. One is more of an everyday look. This is MAC Melba that I'm using. And then if I need something that's has a little more pop, I end up using the Petal Power, which is one of my favorites. There's a little bit of sparkle in it, so it depends if you want sparkle on your face or not. Today I'm gonna go with Melba. It's very subtle, a great everyday look. And I blend it in a little bit to make sure it is just on the apples of my cheeks and then blended back. Okay, so the face is starting to come together a little bit. I'm starting not to look so zombie-ish. Now we're gonna go ahead and finalize the eyes. So the first part of the eyes that I'm gonna do is my brow pencil. So I sometimes will do this before I do the powder. Today I'm doing it after the powder just because I want my brows to be perfect. I have a couple pictures I'm gonna be taking, and brows are the most important part. And if you can't tell, I don't have much to begin with. So I do kind of add, and mine are a little bit lopsided. So this one comes lower, this one's a lot higher. So this is my opportunity to even it out with my pencil. So this is Benefit Precisely My Brow. I use number 2. I think it's a great color for blondes. There's also a darker shade, a 3 that I'll use if I have a lot of roots or I'm trying to get a nice dark look on my face. But the 2 I think is perfect for blondes. Okay, so this is the shape I'm going to attempt to match on the other side. All right, so somebody once told me that eyebrows are sisters. They're not twins. So if they're not perfect, that's okay, but I think I got pretty close. So I'm gonna go back in with the other end of my brow pencil right now, and I'm just gonna brush these up just a tad. I don't like to brush up too much on this side because this side goes higher as it is. I find the areas to brush that are gonna make them look somewhat uniform. Okay, after I'm done with my brows, where'd my hairspray go? Here it is. I take my hairspray, spray a little. I know they have brow stick stuff, but I just use this. Just a little bit to keep them in place. All right, so now that the brows are done, I'm gonna do a couple things. The very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to highlight my brow bone with shroom. And I'm gonna go back to that same brush that I used for all that glitters. All right, so you'll notice that I'm gonna go ahead and line the waterline of both the bottom of my eye and the top of my eye. The only place I'm gonna do any kind of color on the outside of my eyelid is going to be the top upper corner, just to give my eyes a little bit of lift that I like to give them. Okay, so little eyeliner tip. If you have small eyes, you do not want to line that inner waterline right there because it's only gonna make your eyes smaller. Only do that if you have big eyes. If you have small eyes and you wanna make them open up a little bit more, you're gonna line the outside and then take a white colored eyeliner and go ahead and line the inner rim with white. It'll totally open up your eyes, make them pop. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to my shadow for just a minute just to blend the eyeliner. I'm not someone that likes the crisp line. I kinda like it to look a little bit smudged, probably because I don't have steady hands, so my line's never crisp. And I'm gonna go back to sketch. So the stuff that I use on my eyelids only at night, I actually do use it to blend my eyeliner. Go back and do one final line just on the very rim. All right, so this is MAC False Lashes in Extreme Black. I always go as black as I can for the mascara. I never do waterproof because waterproof is really hard for me to wash off at night, and I find that my eyelashes actually fall out when I have to scrub too hard. So yes, False Lashes Extreme Black is amazing. So I do the mascara a little bit heavier in the corners just to help my eyes pop. Then the bottom, I do barely any mascara. Okay, eyes are done. Now on to the lips. So I line slightly outside of my lip line just to give it a little bit of fullness. I'll actually do my lips sometimes and people are like, did you just get injections? But no, and I don't want it to look too big, but I like them to look nice and full and plump. So today I use Strip Down on my lips. It's a little bit darker. A lighter variation of this is Oak, which I really love. And then if you want a little more pink in it, I love a color called Whirl, very pretty. Then my favorite lipstick is this one from MAC called Shy Girl. It's a nude color and it really helps blend everything from my liner, and then I'm gonna go ahead and top it with a gloss. And then I'm gonna go ahead and top the entire thing with one of the MAC lip glosses called Candy Box. Now I'll go with any variation of something light and kind of creamy just to blend it together. Every now and then I'll throw some sparkle in there. This is by far one of my favorite cream sheens. It's actually a lip gloss, not a cream sheen, but you know what I mean. So I'm not liking how dark this is all going on right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and blend everything a little more just to take some of the color off. Okay, final step, you guys. I use this thing called Fix by MAC. It sets the entire look, makes my face a little bit dewy, and gives me fewer cracks throughout the day because I am 36 years old. I'm getting older, cracks happen. This helps. All right, guys, that's how simple it is. You too can do your makeup at home. If you have questions, guys, comment below. Make sure you're subscribing to my YouTube channel and let me know what you want to see next. Bye, guys. That wasn't even a kiss. Bye, guys.